Today we're making a buttermilk blueberry breakfast cake. This recipe is quick and easy to make, packed full of fresh blueberries and lemon zest. A list of ingredients along with the directions are posted down in the video's description box for your convenience. To get started, we need the zest from 1 lemon. This is all we need from the lemon. We don't need the juice for this recipe. I ended up squeezing my lemon into a tall glass of water as I find lemon water rather refreshing. This looks perfect. Next, we need half a cup of softened butter and the lemon zest. We're going to mix this until both are well combined. Next, we need 1 cup of sugar, but before we dump it all in, we're going to reserve 1 tablespoon for later. Next goes in 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're going to mix this until everything looks nice and smooth. Before we add in our dry ingredients, let's get our blueberries washed and dried. The recipe calls for 2 cups of fresh blueberries. I'm going to use this whole container, which is probably about 2 cups anyway. Back to our batter, we need 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to mix this until everything starts to come together. Then we're going to add in half a cup of buttermilk. Give this a good mix and scrape the bowl as needed. Also to note, this batter should be relatively thick, almost the consistency of some cookie doughs, not your typical cake-like batter. Once you've scraped the bowl and everything looks well mixed in, set that off to the side. Let's coat our blueberries. To our washed blueberries, we're going to toss in 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Using your hands, give the berries a quick toss in the bowl. The flour will help keep our blueberries from sinking to the bottom of the pan during the baking process. Once they look well coated, toss them into the batter, leaving any leftover flour in the bowl to be discarded. Gently fold in your berries while trying not to crush them. For the baking dish, you can use a 9 or an 8-inch baking pan. You can either grease your pan or use parchment paper. I like using parchment paper for easy removal. Evenly spread out your batter. Remember that tablespoon of sugar we reserved earlier? Before we toss our cake in the oven, we're going to sprinkle the top with that remaining sugar. You don't have to do this part if you really don't want to. As my mom would say, we're basically gilding the lily at this point. And that may be true, but this is a special breakfast, so why not? Into the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes if you're using a 9x9, 50 minutes if you're using an 8x8. Using a toothpick, check the center for doneness, which might be kind of hard considering all the blueberries. Be sure to let your beautiful cake cool for 15 minutes before slicing into it. We did not. There's nothing wrong with not waiting, especially if you prefer it hot and don't mind your slices being a little messy. Yes, it was absolutely delicious. Blueberries everywhere. Here's an ingredients list. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll see you all in the next video.